Hi everybody, welcome to my channel for a new battle report. This time the new Infernal Dwarf facing Dwarven old from Coco, good friend. We did a little practice game, so it was short before the release of the Infernal Dwarf book, and I was trying to do some practice game and record them to provide some content for you, but at the time I played the game, I wasn't sure it was exactly the release version of the book, so it might be that there are some very few changes. If it's the case, I will just write them down in the description under the video. So if there is any change to my list, for example, something which has been changed in the meantime. So my list, I decided to play with a Prophet Alchemy as a general with a Binding Scroll, a BSB with Vizier with a Destiny Scroll, Great Weapon Flaming Standard, an Overlord with Historic Ritual, so on the small base, being a beast, like a small cavalry base, with 1-up and 4-up regeneration. Prophet Adept Occultism on a Bull of Shamut with a 2-up, 5-up Aegis and a 2-up Aegis against fire, 26 Citadel with Spear and Banner of the Relentless Company, 2x20 Slaves, 12 Warriors, 5 Tauruks with Paired Weapon and 7 Tauruk with Shield, Infernal Weapon, Champion and Musician, 5 Vassal Cavalries, and 2 Infernal Engine, one time with the Grinder option, so close combat, exactly the same as before, 3d3, Grinding, Strength 6, AP 3, and one time with the Rocket Battery, that's the weapon with the 4 cannon shots, 24-inch range, 4+ aim, quick to fire, Strength 6, AP 3, and multiple wound 3. D3, sorry, so you have to roll and clipped wings, so that's basically how it shot. So not so good on long range against normal target because you are going to hit on 5+, but I have an engineer, the general is an engineer, so if I'm within 6 I'm able to get +1 aim, and if it's a large target, gigantic, I will get +1 from cannon shot, so quite interesting shooting weapon for the Infernal Engine. Coco is playing an MSU list from Paul, a good friend from the ETC Team Switzerland. An MSU list with 2x15 Kingsguard, 5 unit of 10 in the core section, 2 Grudge Busters, 2x1 Vengeance Seeker, 2+1 Attack Copter, 1 Attack Bomber, 1 Organ Gun Guild-crafted, 1 Cannon, and then an engineer as a general with the Rune Rocket and Rune of Denial. That's the list. We played Spoil of War and Encircle. I chose a spell, the Quicksilver Lash and Molten Copper, to try to threat a little bit the Flying Copter and the Kingsguard, who have a good armor save. Then I took Word of Iron to sometimes boost a little bit the unit, either in combat or against some shots, and then Silver Spike, so 3 blasts to try to do some damage from distance. And then for Occultism, since I know that my bull is going to hide because there is an organ gun and a cannon and another few shots, I think Pentagram of Pain is a good choice because with 24 range and no need of line of sight, I might be able to do some damage, and then +1 Aegis might be useful as well to either cast it on an Infernal Engine, for example, or cast it on himself to help a little bit to help with the protection and move on from a 5-up Aegis to a 4-up Aegis. Might be useful. Regarding the Overlord, I went for the option having a lot of Strength 5 attacks, so Triple Barrel is doing +3 attacks, so 7 attacks in total, Strength 5, AP2, sorry, and always hitting on 3+. And then I'm also gaining +3 shots, so I have totally 4 shots, flintlocks, so always hitting on 3+ again, Strength 4, AP2, 18-inch range. That's a bit how it works, but he's not light troop, so I can only shoot if I don't march. That's a bit the idea. What do I think regarding the matchup? An open game, but it's good for me that it's Spoil of War, because it might force the Dwarven all to play a bit more offensively, a bit more on the whole board, and not only on one corner, one side of the board. So that's quite interesting for me. My Overlord and the Bull of Shamut need to be very careful. Of course, there are 2 war machines who are very, very dangerous against them, who can, basically cannon can one-shot both, so I have to be very careful and play a bit with the line of sight and so on. Citadel and the 2 Infernal Engines are very good combat threats in this matchup, because if I'm able to get a charge with an engine or get the Citadel in a good spot, I might be able to win some combat and get some points in combat. Of course, I will try to start, since I will be getting a lot of range damage from Coco's list. I need to start, get an early spoil with Citadel, and then try to threat the Kingsguard with them, and also to go forward in the board, try to aggress him a little bit. That's the idea. And of course, with shooting magic, I need to target the flying copters, because first of all, they shoot, second of all, they can chaff me. So if I want to get some points, I need to kill them as soon as possible. Okay, deployment. So I was able, Coco chose the side, so he decided to take Defender, which is always a very good option, probably the best option. And then here you see the 3 spoiler 4, and I was able to drop everything to start. So that's at least something good. So when you see my deployment, you need to imagine that the map was completely empty at this point of time. What I thought is the following. If Coco take this corner with the majority of his unit, basically has very good line of sight for the war machines, and it would be quite difficult for me to aggress him with the bull and the overlord on Toruk. So my idea was to put Citadel and tank a bit more on the left, and therefore forcing him more or less to put his unit more on the right side, and then I would be able to play with the line of sight with the hill and do something with both the bull and the overlord. So that functioned pretty well, I can say, after deployment. So on the left, I decided to put the 5 Toruk and the combat tank. The idea is to go forward for this corner and maybe try something. Here you see Coco decided to put 1 Grudge Buster at the general's unit with clan marksman and cannon behind. Here I have slaves. General, BSB, Citadel, the Bull of Shamut, who can easily find a good spot. They are always very good shadow zone, so to say, behind hills and impassable. So here I thought, depending where I put the war machines, I should be able to be too far away from the organ gun first, and then out of line of sight from the cannon. So I might be able not to get killed on turn 1. Here you have my Infernal warrior, the shooty tank, the 7 Toruk with the overlord, vassal cavalry and slave. On Coco's side, here you have the bomber, grudge buster, marksman, 2 times Kingsguard, an attack copter, 2 attack copter, the 2 vengeance seeker, 2 times the greybeard, and here you have the vanguarding warrior, and here the organ gun. So I was able to start the game. Of course, on the left I push forward as fast as possible, but I think I missed something, not going for directly for the token. Since I get some protection from the tank, I should have gone as fast as possible forward to take the token, because Coco has some miners in his list. So if I can get an early spoil and get away from the corner of the table, from the edge of the table, I should be able to maybe get away with one spoil. So I think that was a mistake to stay behind at this point. Here I'm able to go behind the hill with the bull. Maybe I should have looked a bit more to the right, but I thought if he's going forward to chaff, I want to have a look. But I'm not sure that was the best idea. Anyway, go just behind the hill. I go behind the hill with the overlord, so giving no line of sight for the organ gun, no line of sight for the cannon, with these 3 big who have a heavy cost in points in my list. So he has only this tank to shoot against with the cannon. Everything is outside of the 30-inch from the organ gun at this point. Just move a bit back and move a bit sideways, and that's it. Here the idea with the shooty tank is to shoot at these two attack copters, who are juicy target because of clipped wings, of course. Magic. I tried to cast. I didn't use the Relentless Company, because that would have put me just slightly forward, but within range of the organ gun. So I decided only to move 9, which means as well I don't have a lot of good targets for magic. So Spike, Silver Spike against the cannon, dispelled by Coco, and then I'm trying to cast a Pentagram of Pain with this guy against Vengeance Seeker, but it failed, and I'm able to get +1 armor save on the Toruk, so at least something. Shooting, I'm not able to hit the attack copters on 5 up, and nothing else. Turn 1 of Dwarven, he moves, surprisingly, fast forward with the 2 King card, but uses the 10 warriors to chaff my overlord. Yeah, that's it. He moved forward as well with 2 Vengeance Seeker and moved a bit, with the 2 Attack Copter here on the wall. Yeah, basically he's ready to shoot at me and then chaff me with a Copter when needed. Here on the left, I think he didn't move. He's just going to shoot against my tank. So let's move on to shooting. It tries to shoot at these guys, but I mean they have 1-up armor save plus the cover from the forest, so he does nothing on this side. And on this side, surprisingly, with the 10 marksman, he's able to do 2 wounds. So he's wounding on 6-up. With 10 shots, he's able to do 2 wounds. And then nothing, I guess, with the Grudge Buster. And with the cannon, he's able to hit me on, I guess, 3+, and then wound me on 2+, and do 2 wounds to me. So I have only 2 wounds remaining after turn 1, so that's a bit bad for me. So I have to take some action with this combat tank, because next turn he will probably be dead. And yeah, that's it. Turn 2, Infernal Dwarves. I debated a little bit whether or not I should take the charge, and then Coco said to me, yeah, basically your tank is dead on the left side, so it would be better to take the charge. And I agree with him, that was the best idea, so I take hit and terror check, and he forgot completely to put 1 Greybeard unit to help a little bit general unit, and he had to flee. And that would break the 1-inch cap with the cannon, so flee off the board. But since it was a training game and friendly, we decided to let them on the board at this point of time and give him a chance to rally on next turn. I decided to redirect in the Grudge Buster, which managed to pass his panic check. And I failed double 6 to get contact, and I think at this point I had a second very good chance to move forward and get this token, and I didn't move at all, so yeah, that was a bit too passive on this side for me, because I should have moved forward with Slave and with Toruk, and then try to move away with the token, because here there is a lot of space to move on. So yeah, that would have been much better. The right side, I take the chaff with the Overlord, use my Relentless Company to take the token with the Citadel Guard, and just move the position of the mage to get some good spells this turn, and try to threat a little bit. Here I had to move sideways with the Toruk to give some space for the Vassal to chaff the whole line, combat line. I move a bit my Bull. The idea is to get good line of sight with Bull and Overlord and Tank to get some juicy charges on next turn. And here on the right side, just moved back a bit the Slaves. Magic. Able to cast a Molten Copper on the Kingsguard, but did only 2 wounds. Then I tried a Quicksilver Lash on the Copter, but failed. I tried a Silver Spike, but failed. And then I tried to cast a Pentagram of Pain on a Seeker, but that was dispelled by Coco. So not so successful with the magic since the first turn. But the shooting phase is much better this time. I'm able to get 2 hits on 5-up on these 2 guys with the tank, and get 2 wounds on 3-up, and then kill them. So that was very good news for me. Close combat, I'm able only to do 2 wounds with my 7 attack on 3-up, rerollable, and then 3-up again, but only AP2. I'm only able to get 2 wounds, so he flees, I just reform, and he goes through and yeah, stops here, somewhere behind. Only 1 panic check for the Copter, I guess, but was passed. Turn 2, Dwarven. So 1 charges, long charge, 10. He needed 10 on Swift Ride with the Grudge Buster. I decided to stick because I thought I have maybe counter charge. We'll see. It's not sure that he's able to do it. I didn't want to flee with these main units, and I thought he might get some DTs. And if I strike back with Strength 5, maybe I might be able to do something. So I thought let's just see. But he was able to get the 10 Swift Ride. Then the miners come on the board. He wasn't able to rally General's unit, so goes off the board, move forward with the Grudge. He will really be hoping to kill me this turn, because if not, I'm going to charge him on the Grudge Buster. And here you see with the position of the miner what I said before. Now it's too late to go for the token, I guess. Here he comes forward to chaff my Overlord, and surprisingly moved forward again with both unit of Kingsguard after he killed me with the bombs from attack bombers and these attack copters. He moves over my cavalry and killed them. and just moves around a bit with the both Vengeance Seeker and gets on the token with the right one King's Guard unit. Let's see, shooting is able to do 1 wound on the tank with the minus and then do another wound with the Grudge Buster. So 4 wounds of the 6 total were done by low strength shot, wounding on 6 up. So a bit unlucky, I'm killed. And then with the organ gun, it did shoot against Citadel Guard, but did like nothing, like only 1 wound on the Citadel. That was a bit surprising. Killed 2 slave here, 1 Toruk here with the cannon shot. And then combat here, it was very surprising because, yeah, I have 2 up armor save. I think his grinding attack has strength 5, AP 2, I guess. He did 2 wounds to me. I'm able to strike back with full attacks, so 9 attacks, strength 5, hitting on 4+. I'm able to do 2 wounds, but Coco saved both with 5 up armor, so I lose by 3, and I'm able to stick on a 6. So, yeah, quite lucky for me. Let's move on to my turn 3. Okay, right side, I see first what I'm able to do with the slave, and I just check with the conga line, I'm able to chaff him, so I decided to take the counter charge with the tank. Against the Grudge Buster, I had other possibilities. I could have gone with the tank against King Guard, but I saw that's a bit risky because a lot of strength 6 attacks. So I decided to go for the Grudge Buster and save the Toruk, and then chaff the King Guard. The idea is with the overrun, it will not be able to contact my tank, but he can be able to contact my Toruk. That's a bit the idea, depending what I do on this combat. The Overlord is going to eat a second piece of chaff, and my Bull of Shamut with the Prophet on top is charging an easy charge, I think a 5 Swift Ride to go onto the King's Guard unit. So that was really good for me because there are no counter charges to him. I'm giving a front to these 2 units, so they are not going to be able to contact me. These King's Guard are chaffed, so there are no charges. These 3 units are looking on the right, so no charges possible. And what the likely outcome is the following. I'm going to kill a few this turn, maybe 4 or 5. He's going to be steadfast and stick, and I will probably make him flee on the next turn and then be free on my turn, which is the best situation you can ever have on the 9th age, because you get a free pivot, so you can charge 360, you can choose where you want to go. So I can go for scoring or help a little bit and charge maybe some Seeker or some King's Guard, so I will have very good possibilities with him. And basically I should be still in combat during the Coco's turn, so I will not get any shots. So that's very positive for me. Quite happy to get this charge. Move back the general in this unit to go, then try to go in combat with the Citadel, of course, who took the token. And then on the left side, because I wasn't sharp with the Toruk. Now I'm a bit blocked, so I will try to give him hard choice. But yeah, I think I should have moved a bit forward with the slaves and try to calculate that I can do in the later stage some kind of Congo line to avoid him getting the token in some way. But I didn't took really the time to think at all possibilities on this left side, so I just moved a bit back and thought, yeah, maybe I will get some kind of charges at some point. But I think that was a bit too optimistic, so I didn't play well on this left side. Okay, let's move on. Magic. I'm able to help a little bit my Bull of Shamut getting a +1 armor save with a 10 on 2 dice, so quite lucky. I'm able to get +1 armor save, so get a 1-up armor save for this combat will be very useful because a lot of strength 6 attack. And then I put the attribute here, giving a reroll to wound for the Bull. So that's very good news. Trying to cast a Quicksilver Lash on this attack bomber, trying to kill the chaff. But it's dispel, and then I'm able to get +1 ward save on the Bull. So I'm 1 up and 4 up, so that should be enough to survive this combat. Able here to get 4 wounds on the impact, so that was really good. But then he's able to strike and kill 2 Toruk, but I'm able to kill him. So that's a good news. I'm able to reform in 1/1 so that he will not be able to contact me in another run. So that was quite interesting for me. Here I was very surprised because I killed like 6, so that was quite good. But then he failed his steadfast. So yeah, that was bad news for me because I wasn't expecting that. So he failed his steadfast check, I think on a 9 or 8, with no reroll, of course. So he failed it. So then I decided, okay, I will get shot on the next turn by the cannon and organ guns, so I might just try to catch him with Swift Stride. And I was able to catch him and kill the King's Guard, causing a few panic check, but he was able to pass them on the copter, so that was good for him. Here I'm able to kill the chaff and just reform. Okay, that's it. Turn 3, Dwarven. Let's see. Something very important. Here I was only able to do 2 wounds on the attack copter with the Lord. 7 attacks, only 2 wounds. That was really unexpected. So he fled from combat and I just decided to reform because going forward, I don't know where I would end up. I was really willing to support a bit against the King's Guard. So I just decided to reform. So he fled all the way back here. Let's move on, turn 3. Moves a bit forward with these 2 units, so Grudge Buster on the side to help support the miner, try to get the token in the later stage. Moves again to chaff the Overlord a 3rd time, this time with the attack bomber, doing 1 wound by going over the tank. That was a good 6 to wound. Then he charges me with the... I'm sorry, I think the wound was from previous turn combat, maybe, or DT when counter-charging. I don't remember because that's not possible with the bomb, I guess, because he charged me with the little guy, the Vengeance Seeker, needed 6 Swift Stride, so he was able to do it. He decided to charge with the King's Guard first, and then secondly with the Vengeance Seeker, trying to get maybe an overrun in the Toruk. So yeah, I just have to stay and see what happens. Okay, and he moves basically out of arc with the 3 units, so this one looking this way, this one I think this way, and this one maybe on the top. Yeah, I don't care because if I survive I will just go for the organ gun, get the points, and then overrun out of the table, try to gain a bit of time. Let's see what happened then. Yeah, he was able to rally with the attack copter this turn. And to get to pass the march check with the bomber to chaff me. That was also very important for him. Let's see, in combat, first with shooting, he's able to do not hit me, needed 5 up to hit, but then with the organ gun he's able to do 3 wounds to me. So luckily I have 1 last wound. And then combat was a bit unexpected because here I'm able to one-shot him. He does 2 wounds to me, and then I'm getting maximum grinding and wounding 3 times and killing him. So I'm able to do 3 pivot, which is really great. He was able to make my slave flee and overrun a 7 with this guy and a 10 with this guy on this direction. So going south. So here I'm able to reform and I'm going to charge him in the back, which is really, really good for me. But unexpected. I don't have the picture for turn 4, but I can tell you what happened. So here I'm charging in the back with the tank, getting nothing from DTs, luckily. So charging the back, he's able to pass the terror check and stick. Here I'm charging with the Citadel, trying to go back to this position, but he fled with the attack bomber. And then I decided to reposition myself with the Overlord, so not charging. Here I'm going to get failed charge. And I don't know why I didn't took the charge with the 2 Toruk on the attack copter. That would, I think, with the reform, I was still able to see him and get a charge after the tank moves, if I remember correctly. I'm not sure if I was still able to see him, but if yes, I should have get the charge because that was important to make him flee and then do something different. So yeah, and decided just to move a bit with the Overlord in the forest. Basically try to threat the King's Guard because they have a spoil of war. Here on the left I'm still doing a bit nothing, so yeah, it was not so good for me. And here I'm able to connect, so needing 5 Swift Strides, I'm able to get the charge, so that was really, really good for me. Magic. Able to cast +2 armor save on the tank against the King's Guard, so with 1-up armor save. He had strength 6, AP 3. I'm able to save on 4-up. That should be enough to kill him in combat. Able to get the Pentagram of Pain off to a couple of wounds and heal 1 wound on this guy, so I have 2 wounds left now, which is good. And then combat, again, it's very, very surprising because with 10 attacks from the back, he was able on 2-up, 5-up, he was able to do the 3 remaining wounds from the tank and kill me. So this time he's getting the free reform and will be able to charge me. So yeah, that was really unexpected for me. He was able to pass the fear check on the 8 with no reroll and then to kill me. So I guess the fear check was quite important this time. But yeah, that's it. I mean, I had to take this charge. I mean, it was a charge on the back and causing a terror check, then a fear check, then probably a steadfast check. So, or no steadfast because I'm gigantic, so I count as having 1 rank. So that was very likely that he was going to flee, and yeah, he didn't fled. So yeah, that happened. And here I'm able to kill the organ gun and overrun off the board. Turn 4 from Dwarven Old is getting here. We remarked that he forgot to do the 2 last attacks, so he was able to kill me and just reform, charge the Toruk who fled, and then redirect onto the Overlord who stand and shot, killed 2. Decided to stay, I guess, with 1-up, 4-up, parry, should be fine, 7 attack, should be fine. Let's see, he was able to rally with the attack bomber, moved a bit, I guess, the Seeker, moved a bit the attack copter to chaff me in the later stage. And he moved a bit the scoring unit around, moved forward for the token. Shooting was able to kill another Toruk with the cannon. I passed my 9 steadfast panic check. And yeah, that's it, I guess. And here we decided to stop the game because we didn't have a lot of time remaining. So at the end of the turn, that's how it looks like. So basically, I killed a lot of them. There are only 3 remaining. I got 1 wound left on me, but I will strike before him. I should be able to kill this guy. We can speak a little bit about simulation, what should happen in the later stage, but it's still hypothetical. I don't know exactly what will happen. So here it chaffed me. Probably with the Citadel Guard, I will only be able to kill Chaff and maybe get one of these 2 units in the later stage. Here I will most likely kill these 3 before they strike. Maybe he will charge me with the Vengeance Seeker. If not, I'm not able to kill him with magic, which is likely. He will probably charge me. I will have to stay and see if I'm able to kill him and not being killed by him. It's hard to say what will happen. And then here on the left, with my position at this point of time, it's likely that he's going to get one way or another, the Spoil of War from the left, because I didn't play very smart. I don't know exactly what I can do on this turn. There are no good charges for me. I cannot do a good conga line with the slaves. So yeah, it's hard. Maybe I can try some kind of conga I think the conga was stopping more or less here. He would have maybe charged and just move forward with this guy to try to get the token. I don't know if there was a way or not. It's hard to say, but I would say that it's likely that he would be able to get this Spoil of War, that I would keep this one and that he will lose this one. So probably a draw on the scenario and then some kill. He will likely get another cannon shot. I'm not sure if I would be able to hide behind the hill with 2 turns of movement. Probably not. Maybe go into combat or something. If not, he will probably get 2 turns hitting me on 5-up. So you don't know what could happen. Hard to say. Maybe I'm able to kill another unit. Maybe he's able to kill me. A bit hard to say. That's how the game ended. We weren't ready to play another hour to see what happened until the end. Basically, that was just the idea to test a little bit the list and see how is the matchup. So I think we got a good idea about the matchup during these four turns. That that's what we both killed at the end of turn 4. That's more or less the situation. Nobody really winning the scenario at the end of turn 4. So as I said, probably a draw on the objective, and I think I should be able to get away with a small win, but something quite close. A lot to say after this game, because a lot of unexpected event happened during this crazy game. I think left flank, receiving 4 wounds from low strength shot, that was unexpected. Then McFlee, the general, that was also unlucky for Coco, so that was a bit strange on the left side. And then the bull against the Kingsguard, I wasn't expecting the flee and wasn't too happy that they fled, so I had to react. I was a bit lucky not getting killed by the cannon. And then I had again a lucky opening on the Kingsguard back, but then that backfired because he was able to kill me with 10 attacks to pass the terror, pass the fear, and then kill me with 10 attacks. So that was again very surprising during this game. So a funny game overall. I think I used pretty well the train, to be honest, because I was able to hide my bull, hide a bit the overlord, and get some good position, be a threat, get into combat with the bull, who is having a hard matchup. So I think that was a good point. But overall, I played bad on the left side. I should have go straight for the token turn 1, and then try to get away with the token with the Toruk, because I mean, waiting that long until the tank gets killed, that was a bad idea. I should have used the tank moving forward and then getting as soon as possible this token on the left side. That was a mistake. I think as well that my Citadel could have done maybe a bit more. I don't think it was the best idea to charge the copter on the flank. Should have maybe gone north, going to the direction of the scoring unit, try to get one of them, maybe, don't know. But one mistake for Coco's part, Greybard unit was needed close to the general to avoid him fleeing on turn 1, on turn 2. That was a bit, that was a mistake which cost him big. So it was a first game for him with this list. He was preparing for a tournament, so he was quite happy to get in touch a little bit with the list and learn a bit how it works. And for me as well, it was a bit new, so I was quite happy to play this game against a good player. Okay, that's it. That's all for this battle report. Talk to you soon on my channel.